That whole introduction that I did, and I forgot to turn the mic on the audio mixer, that's on me. Frustrating. Okay, well, we'll talk all again. We've got it's an interesting lineup. Anchors is in, that's our third choice goaltender. I don't know who Suckley is. I'm assuming that she is the substitute, the fourth substitute or the fourth choice goaltender option. I don't know what's going on with Dell or with Boland, who are our standard, typical expected players to come out playing goal for us. We're going to be watching this for about, well, the entire game, but in about 30 minutes time, the FA Cup draw is going to start. You should be able to see that one by searching on YouTube for Emirates FA Cup, and they'll have the live draw there. I've done a separate little graphic for that purpose. We've got that one there where you don't have to listen to or see my ugly mug for a little bit while we talk about the ball numbers. We're ball number 15. I've picked my top three, and as well as my bottom three. I don't know if anybody else has it. John, if you've got one, I think you might be. There's only a handful of us in here. If you've got any interest as to who we pick, I've chose Ramsgate, obviously 8th tier team. That'd be a lot of fun. Chester or York City for obvious reasons. That's a ball that you kind of, the rivalry of having Chester in an FA Cup match is just too tasty to give up. And so I feel like we've got to have that one there. But if they end up losing in the replay, and I believe are they a replay? Or are they just playing today? No, they're just playing today. If they end up losing in any event, no, they drew. They drew yesterday. So if they end up losing, you get York City, which is manageable, and Newport County, just for the geographical rivalry, I don't want to call it disdain, although I've heard some people suggested on Twitter that they hate Newport County, but I think that would be a lot of fun. As to my bottom three, I've had enough of Notts County for a while. That's not a draw that I want. I don't really want any purple. I've marked them as purple. If they're color coded there, as you can see, the purple are the League One teams, the black are the League Two teams, the yellow National League, the green the National League North and South, so 6th tier. And then you get down into green. Horsham's the only one that's green, 7th tier. And then there are the potential 8th tiers, which you've got Cray Valley playing against Charlton today. I don't know what your thoughts are as to who you guys are interested in drawing, but that should be a fascinating one. The women are about to head out wearing their aways today. Cardiff Met, 6-time champions of the Adrian Premier League. Not going to be an easy one for sure, but they've been having an up and down season, so who knows what's going to happen. Chesterfield would be an interesting draw too, right? Because they've asserted themselves as sort of taking over from what Notts and Wrexham did last season, so I'm sure they've got a claim to make to being the best the National League has ever seen. And so it'll be interesting to see if they... I wouldn't say no to that one either. It's all fun. You want the drama. John doesn't care who we get. Yeah, I think the general theory with those with the draws, you either want to have a winnable game at home or a tasty away game, and by tasty I mean you get 40% of. And I've looked this up so many times; it's difficult because the EFL Cup and the FA have different metrics, but I believe this one is 45% for each club, 10% for the FA on the ticket draw. So if you get an away team inside of a large building and they sell the thing out, it's extra revenue for the team. Irrespective of the result. So, moment of silence. Remembrance Day, Veterans Day, whatever you call it, obviously in November. Tasty away for Bolton. Yeah, that would be a good one. Any big stadium like that, gonna take. But the moment of silence, as I understand it, in the UK, not a bank holiday, and so this first Sunday before November 11th is when they have their moment of silence and recognition. Hey, thanks. That one took a little bit of time, so I'm glad somebody appreciated it. Um, the hardest part was trying to represent the ones that have a match to come, right? Like the Chesterfield Portsmouth game. So you've got National League yellow, and then you've got Portsmouth purple, which you can kind of see an X there maybe. So Grim, nice to have you here. I've done a couple of things, as I said, for you guys. You probably haven't noticed because you're regulars. Is I've made it subscriber only. I've also sent. Well, Brendan, you've got control and moderation skills by going to Restream and logging in, and you should get the whole chat there that allows you to time people out and to block people and all the power and authority, just because it was asked for last time in Jed. And the big thing is I've also, because of John, you asked for one other thing, and let me bring that one up. There it is, etiquette rules. And so just because there was some conversation about spoilers and stuff like that. So that's what I've done is I've set it up there. You must be a subscriber to chat. No spoilers. Just be kind to each other. No links permitted in the chat. That's obviously because, as I've been reading the terms of service, no sneaky links are permitted. Repeated text is spam. Large passages of text is spam. Limit your use of caps. Look, I'm pretty free on this sort of stuff, but just it's really be kind to one another, and we'll just roll with it and see. So not that I want to have a whole bunch of rules out there and stuff. It's just no spoilers, I think, is a big deal, where some people get ahead of where I am on the broadcast. So it's important not to ruin the fun of everybody by not to ruin it for everybody by putting out information that's there. So I've got that with the chat etiquette. As said, the game's about to start here. They just blew down the whistle. They're taking their position now. I'm going to get the scoreboard ready to go. And the only big issue here is what happened to our goaltending. Dell the standard, and Bolin not there. So we will see what ends up happening. If you haven't got it, you can go to YouTube. Or not YouTube, sorry, you can go to the Watch Center on Wrexham and stream along and follow for free. Listen to Mark Griffiths on a beautiful Sunday morning, rainy here in Vancouver. And take in this one as well as the FA Cup once it fires up, which I've got utilizing the kids' iPad to have that one running in the background. That one starting in 26 minutes or so. I believe that's going to be after the Chesterfield match that they'll end up putting that one on TV as well. Scala, how are you? I'd like to increase the size of these. I've changed the chat a little bit because we were scrolling a little fast, and so I've shrunk it down if you've been able to notice. But now I'm struggling to see the names. So as to the women's match, it's going to be a battle down in Cardiff away. Cardiff, 6-time champions. They've had European competition that they've been a part of. The best jersey logo or sponsor I've seen. I'm hoping it's the same one as what was in all the photos. They've got a podcast that sponsored them, and it's kind of a spoof podcast, the Socially Distant Sports Bar. With the 3 cartoon figures on the front of it. So I'm hoping we get a zoom in look at that one to see if that's actually their logo. Is that beer o'clock? That might be a little too early. This one should be a good one. Just a little bit concerned about the goaltending because obviously we know nothing of anchors. As the substitute, don't know what happened to Dell, who's normally an important feature for the team. But throw out a little bit of an extra challenge and we'll see what happens. Cardiff with control early, 46 seconds in. Everything's all matched up. No shot clock, obviously. Cardiff Met, not with the attendance that we have. I'll just say that. But one of 3 semi-pro teams. Cardiff Met is not one of them. Cardiff City, Swansea, and Wrexham, the 3 semi-pro teams. Cardiff Met, not a semi-pro team, likely because of their college situation. That should be a foul, and it is a free kick for Wrexham going the other way. It'll be tough. I don't want to, no disrespect for the women, but also interested in the FA Cup, so interested to chat about those as we're pulling in some people. I'll bring up the the draw numbers just so that they're there so you can have a look at. I don't know what your thoughts are on them. Obviously, I've got my top 3 and my bottom 3. I don't really want a purple ball unless we're away. That being a League One team. I don't really want a League Two team because we've seen them all before. I'd like to see something else. Home game against a weaker squad, or a League One squad, or League Two squad if we draw them. League One I'd like away, but Ramsgate, Chester is an option in Newport County. Those are all tasty treats. And of course, the next round, the championship teams and the Premier League teams all come in. They'll be 20 winners from this competition that remain. The 24 from championship and 20 from the Premier League fall in proper round 3. That podcast is on in Wrexham. I don't know which one you're referencing. Oh, Andrew. And then also, as far as the stats, it's something like a 30% chance that we're going to get a League One team, a little less than that to get a League Two team. And then you're looking like 7.7% to get a National League or a National League South team, 2.6% to get Ramsgate was my ugly math. So 3%. Only 40 teams in the competition till the other 44 add. But as far as the game, Cardiff City largely with control here to start. And there's those balls to look at again so that you guys can have a look and choose who your wants and non-wants are. Wrexham with it. Well done getting it into the midfield. Davis got out to Lightfoot over to the left, able to get it over across. No, coming back and using the support. Back to Kara. No, Davis, Lightfoot sads it up. Tried to set it over to the far post. Just a little too close to goal, but that was impressive. Jed, you're here, and I've got, I sent you an invite, or I should have, through your email so that you can assist with the moderation. As I was telling everybody, we've got, I updated some etiquette rules. Got those up there just so that you can see them. Not trying to be too forceful, too rammy, but I also made it subscriber only just to limit people from flying into the chat, and I gave them a 1-minute timeout before they can actually start chatting. So hopefully that gets rid of some people who, and if it gets too bad, I can increase it to 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but I just wanted to have a little bit of more control as to the chat. Yeah, no, that's all good. Just let me know if you have an opportunity. I don't think it's going to get too rowdy in here today, but if there's, give it a shot and see if you're able to track along. You won't be able to actually do anything unless there's a game on, only because the stuff that you need to know how to control the chat is only alive when we are. Oh, the Socially Distant podcast. Yeah, I've never listened to it. I'm going to have to give it a listen. So their sponsorship worked because I saw the logos and was like, what the hell is that? Who's their front of shirt sponsor? Is that a joke? Is this the real, did I find the real club? But it is Cardiff Met. They've got a beautiful jersey. Well, Anchor certainly can sky the ball. Holy. Deep all the way down. Can I show the balls again? Absolutely, I can. There you have it. Allen through. Lightfoot through the middle. Come on now. I'd say it's been about 50-50 as far as ball. Nobody really been able to sniff in a shot, but they've been around the penalty area. And this is another pitch that looks massive. And I sent this one around to a number of Facebook groups because the information about the draw was pretty late coming out by FA. Like, when I put my live updates, I try to get it out at least 12 hours before, and I think I might do it earlier than that. But they only announced their second round draw something like, well, while I was sleeping. So that was in the last 4 hours, 5 hours. So I'm shocked that it took them so long to get it out there. So there's lots of tasty treats, lots of things I want to avoid in that draw as well. I love the comment. Ask Wrexham talking to Mark Griffiths, and they're talking about the spaceship. And if you weren't there, I believe it was Pontypridd that had the building on the opposite side of the camera looked like a spaceship. And then now, if you're watching this one, you've got another spaceship. I don't know what the Welsh Sporting Ground design is, but it looks very futuristic, alien, foreign. Well, foreign, I guess, for anybody from North America, that would qualify. Do they really? See, you can add Chesterfield. I just think that that would be a fun game to have, because obviously they're asserting themselves as sort of the Notts County Wrexham of last year. Ramsgate is an 8th tier team, I believe out of London when I was looking at it. But they are the darlings. There's always a darling this year that you end up cheering for. But Kent, sorry, from Kent. A 2,500 stadium, 2,500 person stadium. Ramsgate has a population of 40,000. It's probably one of the further trips away, but right on the ocean, down in South Kent. And I guess unless you're going down to Portsmouth, that'd be a good haul for if we had to go there for a game. Yeah, I get that. The Derby feels. I think we've seen enough Notts County for a while for me. And that's not to say I don't enjoy the rivalry, but you can have too many chapters maybe. Maybe I'd like to create some drama elsewhere. And so I never checked what league they were actually playing in, but it was 8th tier. I remember looking at that yesterday. So and I love the Isthmian league in the Southeast Division. So they're down a level, right? National League North and South, Isthmian Premier, Isthmian whatever geographical location you're in. And so they're the only 8th team that's well, not necessarily. Cray Valley is playing today as well. Interestingly enough, Chesterfield is the only club that has a personal interest, well, other than Doncaster Rovers geographically, as my brother-in-law played some time for Chesterfield back in the day as a goalkeeper. He was actually on the bench when Luton Town beat Chesterfield to get promotion the first time out of what I believe was the National League. Awesome, Andrew. I'm going to have to add that one to the repertoire. See, I do hope they zoom in on the Cardiff jerseys, because you have to see it. It was so jarring to see a cartoon figure sitting on the front of chest. Oh, lobbed the keeper and couldn't get it in, just off target. But that was really the first chance. 10 minutes in. Rosie. Just out of nothing. Legs. Little bit of a push on the back of the defender. Another little bit of push, sneaks her way through and does the chip. She's sneaky. Just planning that run to get that lash of the foot in. So I don't know. I guess I'll leave those balls up there for everybody to look at until the draw's over anyways, and then we can figure it out. Derby. That's a pretty impressive. That's about... Just... Like if I recall correctly, yeah, Portsmouth hadn't lost in League One yet, and they got taken down by Chesterfield. I'm curious if anybody knows the lineup and whether they were full on or not, or whether they decided to gamble and take a little bit more depth, and Chesterfield said, we're running for it because we've got some control in the National League. Always more of a risk in the National League, right? But Portsmouth going to get an opportunity to focus on League One. That's going to be frustrating for teams like Oxford United, Bolton, Peterborough, who are looking to chase them down. You kind of hope everybody pushes or falls out together. Midfield battle continues. And man, the size of this field. Is it just because of the location of the camera in both of these that they make the fields look so big? Well, I know ours at the Rock is bigger than standard, but looking at that far side, there's no way I can see a number. Here we go. Cross into the box from far away. Well, it wasn't a cross, it was a shot, and it went harmlessly off of the fence in the back. Yeah, I was tempted to bring that game up too and watch, but I've got my kid's iPad with the draw. I've got the women's game on the laptop. I've got you guys on my desktop, and so I'm as teched out as I could possibly fit into this little desk here as my eyes dart around. It's not just that I'm exhausted. There's a bunch of stuff going on. So waiting 12 minutes before they'll start the second round draw. And usually they go pretty quick. The EFL Cup draw does a little bit more drama at the start and does some interviews and that sort of thing. But the FA Cup, because they've got another match to follow, they'll jump in, they'll do the draw, they'll jump out, and it'll be that quick. I was going to say theirs is, I'm assuming you're saying theirs is not standard football field size, and that definitely has to be wider, I would think. Hey, Carol, I'm all for Ramsgate getting a great draw, but if they get us, I don't want them to go any further. I love the idea of getting to the third round proper, and the chance at a Premier League team. You know, how can you not get excited about Liverpool and Wrexham, right? Even Everton take on a Man City, a Man United. That'd just be too much fun. Yeah, Master. I got two monitors going. One for stats and info. It's full on. Cardiff met through the midfield, intercepted. Pritchard on the right side. I guess she was there the last game as well, sitting in the midfield. Got a chance. Poor clearance, but get it in. Oh, tried to get it into Rosie and just couldn't do that. That was Lily. See, Accrington Stanley, that's one of the teams. We've got them on the 18th. So I don't know if I haven't done my Who Are They series yet, so I don't have all of the details. But they're a League Two squad, so I'm all for potentially drawing them. But they're a relatively strong League Two squad, sitting in 7th spot. I think they have games in hand. Do they? No, they don't. No games in hand for them. 33,597. Yeah, so, and I don't begrudge people. There are lots of people out there that don't want Wrexham to advance in the FA Cup. They want us to focus on the league competition. They want us out. Well, if that's the case, then you want a large away day. Like, go out to Derby, 33,597. I haven't checked what the League One average attendance is this year to see, even though the stadium size, who's actually putting bums in seats, because it's the ticket sales that matter as well, right? So, I feel sorry for the women. We're talking more men FA Cup draw than anything else, but I guess the benefit is I know everybody can watch this game, so I don't have to do what I do for men's matches and give you all the color commentating, because you guys can see it. Yeah, Derby averaging 26,000, so I guess that would be that would be the away battle if you were of the vein that you wanted to take out a giant and make some money through the process, right? Just making sure everything's there as we're 8 minutes away from bringing in the draw. And the other thing to keep your eye out for is it's the first ball out is the home club and the second ball out is the away club. And so for me, we've done the away just because you want to focus on the League Two. You don't want to have to hit the road and go all the way down to, well, Portsmouth is out, but another far distant club. So I'd much prefer them come to the race course. So I'd like to see ball number 15 come out first and then anybody follow. The only exception being if we're going to have to get a big away game, they better be, if we get drawn away, it better be into a big barn. I don't want it to go to a smaller club. Is it Slough Town? Slough Town? I don't know how you guys actually pronounce the Slough. Slough would be what we do in Saskatchewan. Bolton could be a good one. Yeah. Portsmouth is gone. Charlton got knocked out as well, I believe. I'm listening to Mark talk about his wife giving him permission to do this as I sit here early in the morning. It's what we do, indulge ourselves. So I don't know if anybody else has, lots of people looking at Bolton, looking at that away tasty treat. Is there anybody else who, I mean, I didn't put them on my top three because I'd want to get to the round three proper. So for me, getting a beatable team is what I'm hoping for. And I just lost my stream. It seems you may not have permission to play this video. Fascinating. Did I get blocked? Has anybody else got the women's game up? Just curious. What does somebody want to pitch in here? I've got a message that said you have to be logged in. Interesting. I'm still logged in, but I have been removed. Oh, and I'm back. I've never had that before. Oh, sign into iFollow. Just all of a sudden tanked. Please try again. Interesting. Maybe I've been blocked from iFollow. I will have to follow up with that. That would make for an interesting day, which will mean I'm just focusing on the draw then. I'll go to another browser and see. The crackdown continue? I'm only logged in on one device. Let's bring it up. See what happens if I come over here. I may end up slowing down a little bit. Well, I've got it up here, so that's interesting. And Jed just gave me a message about, and that could be the issue, actually. No drama. Everything's good. I've got the game up here, and I'm going to try and get it back on the laptop so I can actually hear it and also not bog down the system. So just give me a moment. That made me nervous. I was just like, what the heck happened here? Only allowed into one at a time, so let's get out here. Nothing ever goes perfect, right? I set all of this up this morning, had everything all go, and then you end up getting bit in the back end with this, and we're good. Good morning, Alex. Got the balls up there for everybody to look at. That looks really nasty for people that are logging in on the first time or maybe not looking at their screen right now. He's got the balls for what up? For everybody to look at as far as the draw and their expected, hopeful, what they're looking for, all that sort of stuff. If you are just listening and you wanted to chat, it's a 1 minute delay. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. Had to put that in just to get some control of things. Stop the delay of away team guests joining, jumping in, and sending off messages, and then running away into the darkness. You like my balls? 9 balls. Is that nice? Nice. Yes. It took me a long time to play with those balls and to set them up just perfectly. There's all the pretty colors, and that was a labor of love last night. Because there's 2 options there. So what they're supposed to represent is Kidderminster's yellow, which is a National League squad, and the purple Fleetwood Town is a League One squad. So all of the purple is League One. There's more that are crossed out. Some you can't see. Like Cray Valley is blue because it's a 8th tier team. I need to get out more. Yes. Yes, I do. And Charlton there is purple in behind, but blue and purple hard to see. But that was the whole intention, was to try and... Oh, got an option long shot? Nope, not in. Jones was man of the match, you think, Andrew? That's interesting. You were the only person who nominated that. Yeah, and the winner of the Charlton Cray Valley game is going to go forward. So the draw will happen. If we end up drawing one of those teams that has 2 squads, it means we're either waiting for a game to occur today or a replay that has to happen here. I don't even know when they're doing the replays. I guess we can look up when Chester plays next, because it's probably the replay. Postponed. Yeah, they've matches November 14th. So that next Tuesday they'll have their replays in the first round. Yeah, I've heard Ogonkwo for sure. I had some people say Evans. Lots of options there. Still waiting for the draw to kick in here. Oh, they've gone live, it looks like. So I'm going to pull in the chat is up. How do I get the chat off on my screen? I don't want the chat. I just want to watch the people scroll. And so they're now running the commercial, running the ad. So if you are on YouTube, you can watch the draw by searching for Emirates FA Cup, and we can follow along with that. And now I'm getting stereosonic sound. Yesterday was amazing. Dalby certainly was in the running. The only thing about Dalby is he was so good with everything except for that little final finish around the box, right? Well, Brendan with the broadcast, the watch party broadcast quote of the night with him. The net was still recovering after getting thumped with that ball. It's live. Balls are in the bowl. I hope I'm not too far behind you guys. Don't spoil it. Just give it a couple seconds till I get caught up if it does. But we're here right now doing the interview before they end up doing the draw. 20 minutes of insane chat. I don't think I got enough people on to make it an insane chat, do I? There's 21 of us. That's not bad. We can control ourselves. The women are performing. I mean, you can watch it on iFollow if you want to, but the women's match has been equal so far. Both teams back and forth. Nobody with a real opportunity. It's been through the midfield for most of it. I don't even think they've got really a shot on goal. We've had a couple of chances. Doesn't everybody play on a plastic field? That's the problem with the turf monster ripping women's knees apart. I'd like to see the women get onto the pitch. Interesting. And somebody help me. Is it Slough Town? I didn't look up the pronunciation because we would call it Slough Town, which is a horrible name. A slough being like a bog. That you'd have bulrushes and everything all sticking out of. I got you, Andrew. Here we go. The balls are starting to get put in. Everybody chatting. Get on with the draw. There's just no drama. Everyone just wants to get into it. Alex, I have to admit, I am a big fan of the FA Cup. I mean, A, it's rewarding, but B, there's just seems to be way more drama. First home side. Looking for ball 15 somewhere along the journey. Maidstone. Barrow. God, I love this. Just like a bingo call to see who your competition is. Wickham Wanderers. I like draws like that pull out League 1 and League 2 sides and match them up together. We can have a bunch of those in the absence of a 15. Ooh, Knots at home. Not us. Please, not us. I'm just done with Knots for a while. Good. Shrewsbury. Can you imagine if they had this in North America? Under the B, the Vancouver Canucks. Under the O, the Boston Bruins. Still waiting here for the number 15. There you go, Chesterfield and Leyton Orient. That's a good draw for Chesterfield. Stockport. That's a tough draw, but an interesting one for Stockport to go to Aldershot. No spoilers, please, Jed. I would have liked Alfreton Town, I think, but it is what it is. Blackpool, not Blackpool. Well, I got nervous there. I heard 30 and 13. I guess we're ball 15. It doesn't matter. Why was I thinking 13? Because I'm just excited. Cambridge United. Mullins got history with Cambridge United. Not for us. The winner of the Kinmister and Fleetwood. Come on. Bolton at home. This is a day out. Not for us. Miss it by 1. Harrogate Town gets the night out at Bolton. Uh-oh. Great save by the keeper and under control in the women's match. Well done. 15. We're at home. Who do we get? Give us Ramsgate. Give us 40. Yeovil Town. We will take that. That's like the perfect draw. That is pretty close to the perfect draw. You want a home game in the second round against a team that you can defeat. And I'm not going to say that, the giant killings all of the time and on the day off, but you want that advantage in the second round. And so Yeovil Town is one of the teams that was relegated last season out of the National League. I know that much. I don't know how they've been performing this year. So they're in the National League North or South? They're in the North. They're in the South. They're at the top of the South. 10 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses after being relegated last year. Yeah, good shout, Andrew. Mr. Hyde coming back to Wrexham. I'd have to go and have a look at anybody else who's on the lineup, but that is... It feels so long since we've... When was the last time we were in Wrexham? Or we were in Yeovil Town? April 18th, 3-0 win. And then we had a draw back in Wrexham last year. And I've missed Ramsgate still in the thing. I will just continue to watch. That would have been a horrible draw because I just don't want Port Vale because we've got them already coming up on a dead rubber. I don't want them in an FA Cup match as well. That's actually a tough draw for Newport. Yeovil. We will host Yeovil. I was just looking at when we went there. I was just curious as to when we went and played them. We will be the hosts. They've just left Ramsgate in there forever. Wigan Athletic. That's where Chester's, I guess, maybe close enough. Sutton United against Ramsgate. Wimbledon. Who's all? Oh, you could have a Horsham-Ramsgate second round match if Horsham is able to... Oh no, Horsham just got picked. I thought they missed that ball when I watched it. So it's going to be Wimbledon and Ramsgate. Wah, wah. I guess close enough for the people of Kent to get over to AFC Wimbledon for the draw. Well done to the people who drew it to leave Ramsgate right to the end. So I don't know, Yeovil. Would love to see Ramsgate take out AFC Wimbledon and move into the third round proper and get like an actual run. Can you imagine being 8th tier and marching your club over into a Premier League stadium? How much fun would that be? That would be epic. All right, that's the end of the magic there. So Yeovil Town. I haven't looked up. I guess we'll have a general range of dates, but we won't have the exact date and schedule for that. Not going to be an easy game. They're all out. They're top of the league. They did struggle last year. Just bringing up National League South is the league that they're in last year. What was their record? Their wiki page is mislinked. Somebody correct it. Going all the way down south. So yeah, 7 wins, 19 draws, 20 losses last year, but doing a lot better this year. Thank you, John. Second round ends December 4th. This is one of those games where now we're looking to be the Giants to get killed, right? And that's the joy of the FA Cup is one day you're the cat, the next day you're the mouse. And we'll see what ends up happening with the Oval Town. And I'm glad we've got it at home. They'll be looking potentially out for a nice day out, although they've got 9,600 in their stadium. I imagine their average attendance is down because they're all the way down to the 6th tier. But this could get the fans fired up for that one. How can you not be all in for the FA Cup? I mean, I think you have to make the run for it as far as you can, right? It's just... It's how you get your name out there, continued FA Cup battles. EFL Cup, EFL Trophy, don't give two hoots about. It is definitely one we could win. And how much fun would it be to... Oh, the ball is right there. Is it going to go too far to the left? Get over there. The goalie's coming out. It's still right there. Somebody get to the ball and chip it in the net. Oh, the large field to our detriment. I haven't looked at their... Other than Hyde, I don't know anybody who's there. And am I loath to bring up their roster? And once you get down to the 6th tier, they don't necessarily have all of the stats. Well done. That was Doran? No, that wasn't. That was Allen. All the way back defensively. Allen, yeah. Got a 20-year-old Welshman on Yeovil Town, Zach Bell. Don't know what town he's from. I'll just see the flag. But yeah, just only have the FA Cup matches, nothing else that's going out there. So no names that I recognize off of the top of my head other than Jake Hyde. But I'll have a look. But that's what you hope for. I mean, you went into the competition or into the draw with it being something like 2/3 of the teams being in League One, League Two, and so being able to draw a National League or National League North-South squad is unlikely. So there's some success there. Hopefully, we don't eat our words because you never know what happens in the FA Cup. Coventry, Arsenal, lots of history of Wrexham taking out bigger squads, and Yeovil will be licking their chops at the opportunity to roll into the race course and kick us in the pants and take one home. So but for them, a 3-2 win. Mark Cooper as their manager took out Gateshead, who's in the National League just ahead of them. Gateshead 4-2-3 at home, 3-3-2 away, sitting in 9th in the middle of the 5th tier. So a smaller giant killing. Is that like a troll killing? And coding overloaded. See, you test the computer out too much and it just ends up not liking you, so you got to slow it down. Lessons learned. I'm going to have to get a new graphics card because it just is what it is. Yeah, and always, see, the 4-hour drive, I like the early home games. We've got enough travel on our hands. Ooh. Enough travel on our hands that being able to stay at home and have somebody come to us, that's the way you want to go, rather than, I guess Mansfield's not too far away. What was that, a couple of hours? Almost 2 hours? I do enjoy having the women's match on when I know everybody has it and I can just sit back and chat her away otherwise. Not a lot to put on the scoreboard. No shots to follow. Just going to jump into the archive just to see if we've got anybody with a history of being in Yeovil. Going to have to do a whole new who are ya? Jake Hyde's the obvious one. Tozer was there for a while as well, so let's... Oh, had Kara Jones in the middle of the pitch and she wasn't able to get it. Probably should have had that one. Hughes. Right side if you're not following along. All the way across, close to the penalty area on the edge. Made it across and then backheeled it just on the delivery. Just that was unfortunate. Yeah, we got Yeovil Town at home in the race course. Jake Hyde gets to come back. Tozer was there for 26 games in 2015-2016. I've got nobody else with a connection going our way. I haven't checked their way other than Mr. Hyde, who's the obvious. I wouldn't call it an easy pass. I mean, there have been smaller giant killings than going up 2 leagues and knocking somebody out. But when you're sitting here on draw day, would you rather have a top of the table in the league ahead of you, or draw somebody like Notts or Stockport County where you know you're going to be into a battle, or do you want somebody from a lower league? Well, we went 2 leagues below. That's always advantageous. You would think we can get out of this. So yeah, it'll be a deep dive. Not a lot of information to do for the Who Are You series because National League South, they just don't carry the stats. But yeah, we had a 3-0 win against them and a 1-1 draw at home. I believe that was at home. I'd have to bring that back up. Come on. No, 3-0 win at home, 1-1 on the road, I guess, back start off the season last year. So December 2nd, they've got it already pegged, 7 o'clock in the morning for me, but that will probably change because the TV people will do their draw of which 4 games they're going to cover. And if Wrexham doesn't get picked for that, which would frustrate me to no end, we'll see what ends up happening. Extra time here coming out shortly. No, I don't think he will either. We are deep, though. It could be 1 or 2 that you can get away with. Yeah, John, it's the curse of the Google search. You got bit by that bug. It took me a long time to figure it out. England puts their home teams at the top. And they actually have structure to the banner up above, that the home team is always on the left as you're facing it, I guess, and the away team on the right. Late chance here for Cardiff Met. Long ball in. You know what? Anchors has looked good. To be fair, I think, I don't want to criticize Bolin from the limited time that we saw her in the first match, but she's been solid in collecting ball. She hasn't really been tested, but she's got this long sky ball that she's been delivering. Was that the whistle for the half? Or did we get a free kick here? No, throw in. Yeah, Jed, it's just backwards for us. We don't have a vertical rule, but on the regular games, the top and bottom, the home team is always the bottom team, and so I don't know why that's inverted. from North American England. Just, I guess, us having to be different than England when we had the chance. But if you were to go and load up any NFL, NBA, NHL score line, you'll see the home team sitting at the bottom. It took me a while to figure out that was a pattern. I just thought it was random. Yeah, well, they're 10-2-2. Is that what they are in the National League South right now? Oh, and it took me to National League. It took me to last year's stats. Yeah, 10 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses, 28 goals for, 16 against. They're on at least a 5-game streak in form. Looking at some of their competition, though, I mean, Torquay's sitting in 5th, Maidstone sitting in 7th. Obviously, of the relegated teams, they're doing the best. I mean, you look at Slewtown, 21st in that same division. Good save by Anchors there again. The game that never started, never got off the ground. So I'm just looking through their last loss. Must have been early in the season. Yeah, match day 6. Havant and Waterlooville. 1-4-3 back on August 28th. And their other loss was the opening one against Hemel Hempstead, 1-0. Both of those road games. And so that means that they're on a match day 6, and they've played how many? They've played 14, last one 6 games. So they're on an 8-game unbeaten streak. So that's pretty impressive. I'm just going to take 2 seconds to go away while we're at the half. As far as the game is concerned, not much to it. We've had a couple of opportunities. The one chance there, I believe that was Jones that had the opportunity and back heeled it coming across the corner. But other than that, I don't remember any real risks. Yeah, Andrew, I'm with you. It could definitely be another S4C thing. What do we got? 4 games being picked, 10 games to select from. We will see what happens. Yeah, a couple of close balls and opportunities there that we could have got to, but we just didn't get to them. Cardiff Met, what a weird season they've been having, though. I'll maybe get into that after I get back here. But just you expected them, or at least I had them as one of the top teams in the top of the table, and they haven't really been that this year. So I will be right back. I won't even put on the away thing because I'll just be ticking away and running back. I haven't looked up Yeovil's history, so I'm all curious what you guys have learned. Feel free to share it. I want to look up where they got anchors from, because not on the first team roster, whether that was just somebody who's local to Wrexham, who they picked up. I don't know if Dell and Boland are dealing with injury or what the circumstances are, and they had to scramble and find somebody, but whoever anchors is, she's entering a little bit of Wrexham lore, I would say, with her performance. Not really heavily tested, but she's looked solid in there. Always those who want to end up taking a run. Yeah, Andrew, is it slough? Like a bluff? It's disappointing it's not slough, because in Saskatchewan, slough is, like I said, basically a pond that's covered in lily pads and moss and all sorts of things. Slough town, really? Slough town. That's disappointing. I'm just going to call it slough. Stick with that. I never would have went with that one. Slough town. Yeah, the football gods making the cause. He got stopped because of tournament competition, and now you guys have to meet in the tournament. That would be the football gods doing some crazy things. So does that mean that means we get Chester in the third round proper instead of a Prem team? How, if you're going to take a Prem team, see, I kind of, as much as I'm sick of Knots and don't want to have them again, and I didn't want Crew or Port Vale because you've already played them twice, I would love, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I would love a Sheffield United rematch. Slow but not slow rhymes with cow. Now I'm confused. Yeah, true. Chester would have to take out York. I didn't even know. I didn't look. But is the replay at Chester or is it in York? Sloughtown. Got it. Rosie hasn't really had an opportunity, to be fair. She did have a couple of chances with assists and some loose balls, and she had one play early on. Why is my clock still running? One play early on where she was on the right side and went for a chip over top. She chased down the defender, was able to beat the defender to the ball, and then got her right foot on it and flick it up in the air and tried to chip it over top of the goalkeeper and didn't quite get there. So York is home for the replay. So I should hit the stop button if I'm going to set my timer up. It's been an easy day to do the scoreboard. No shots to monitor and track unless somebody was going to do them themselves. And the one time I have to do hit stop at the half, I didn't do it. I don't remember that period of time where thought that Hyde would outperform. I don't think that was Rosie. Rosie got the assist in, didn't she? Or like the pass into the box, and it was the mishitter off the back heel? Or did I miss one, David? There's been a couple of opportunities that we haven't closed in on. Chloe Anchors is the U19 goalkeeper, and there's no information about her. Yeah, no bio, no social media. But our U19 goalkeeper, and I'm curious, is it Suckley who is the came in as the backup? No, she's a forward. Who's the backup goalkeeper? Or do we have one? Mackenzie, Whitefoot, Sharp, Spearing. Those are all regulars, I believe. Yeah, we've got Yeovil Town at the top, 10-2, 2-2. Jones missed the easier one so far. Interesting. Okay, I missed it with all of the madness that was going on. I hear the children are stirring, which all I do is put my headset in, give them a couple of minutes. How brilliant was it as a sense of marketing to end up putting the Philadelphia Union 2 game in Chester, Pennsylvania? I mean, I know they were advertising it as Philadelphia. I would have marketed the heck out of that. We're off to Chester. And then the skyline of Philadelphia in the background rather than Chester, UK. I'm hearing whistles blow. Are there other games happening around where the women are playing? Because I'm still sitting staring at the halftime score. Whistles playing in the background. Yeah, I thought I'm listening to Mark talking about anchors. Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure it is multi-pitch, and I can hear whistles, which makes me think that there's other Sunday games going on in the background, running around. And Andrew and I were talking earlier. I mean, I don't know anything about the college system over there, but obviously you've got Cardiff Met with its long storied history. They're tied with Swansea for most Adran Premier League wins, 6 each, and then Cardiff City with 2. And my question was, what happens to Cardiff Met who haven't gone semi-pro yet? Because you'd like to think that a lot of those women who get an opportunity and a desire to continue to play will end up, leaning towards the semi-pro teams who give them that opportunity. Cardiff Met, though, as I understand it, I don't know if Andrew knows or not, might have some scholarship opportunities, but I'm intrigued to see what happens with Cardiff Met here over the next 5-10 years. So then we get our day out with a championship squad in the next one. I'd still like we went 2 draws without drawing a Prem team. I still want to get I want a really tasty away game. As much as it'd be nice to third round proper, you'd always take a lower division team, I suppose. That opportunity doesn't come along too often, and that's the fun of the FA Cup, is getting a run out. Yeah, Jake Hyde was before the streams and before, so for us foreigners trying to catch up, never entered into the equation really. Wasn't a character that we got to know. You snooze, you lose. Yeah, Everton away would be good, as they may have a beatable squad. Sheffield United's a beatable squad. there's lots of drama out there. Although they did look like a different team yesterday against Wolves. Luton Town, yeah. I want to, if I'm going to go away, I want one that's got a decent sized stadium, and Luton Town still only fits how many people in it? $11,500. See, I get it. It'd be a fun story, but if we're going away, you want to go into a bigger barn. I just heard the no. I wasn't really paying attention to what was going on. David, that'd be a playlist I'd be interested in seeing. Are you putting that somewhere? W&G, I remember I told you that Mansfield. Yes, I was. And it's amazing how that happens, eh? The psychology of sport. More importantly, I think for W&G, I think Parkey was able to see what worked against Mansfield, because he employed that strategy brilliantly. We're going to run at the center backs rather than trying to attack them from the air. 11,500 if the neighbors watch from their terraces. Did anybody get the hint? I thought that was it the documentary? Or I've heard them talking about upgrading the stands and whether they were going to do the Yale end, the Tech end, but there was some intimation to apartments on the Tech end. I don't know if you guys know the Sky Dome, which is now Rogers Stadium in Toronto, where but they've got a hotel actually in the stadium where you can get rooms that overlook the baseball game, and you can watch a ball game if you're in the hotel and you pay for those rooms. They wanted to have their apartment side by side. How epic would it be if you're going to do an upgrade to have hotel rooms along one face? I wondered if they're going to get that crazy. They can use them in the off season for conferences and stuff like that as the women start to make their way out. God, those jerseys. The Cardiff Met jerseys are epic. Because maroon's always a nice color for a jersey, but that logo on the front with the podcast, the social distant pub podcast. Here's a question for you. Wayne Gretzky, if you don't know who he is, greatest hockey player that ever played. He always played and wore his jersey such that he tucked in the right side, and that was similar because of the mechanics, not having the jersey interfere with his ability to shoot the puck. You watch Rosie, and Rosie tucks in the front but leaves the back out. Can you just see from now for the next couple of decades, little girls in Wrexham all running with that tucked in? They're all rosy hues. I think that's going to be the sign. That's what I want to look for if I was in Wrexham and you see a bunch of kids teams playing, is that tuck job, to see if there's others who end up poking the jersey down and tucking it in just like that, replicating and imitating their heroes. I think would be amazing. Kickoff. I missed it. That's a research task. How many Joneses can you get on the same time, or Roberts or Davis? Concerned dad face. No, come on. I am here as a supporter of women's football, uh, and looking forward to the boys and girls developing uh, in Wrexham as a consequence of being able to watch their heroes. And here comes Rosie down the right side, and I'm curious if there's going to be copying her. Kara, right footed, too far right. Do we get a corner? Looks like it. I didn't know that there were 3 Sheffield teams. I mean, the other one, what, 9th tier, 10th tier, Sheffield FC, the ones who started it all, I guess. One of the earlier teams, earlier claim than even Notts County has. Developers of the Sheffield rules. And still at it, I'm surprised nobody's taken that club. I guess they've just been recently bought, but taken that club and pushed for them to go up the table. But them and Wednesday and United, nice. What did that hit? Rosie got the hair in the way on that header. Went to go and flick it and ended up whipping the ball with her hair almost as much as she contacted. Oh, I've got the Munchkins are awake. And so I was trying to make sure that whether I had to go and attend. This is the amazingness of my wife, who lets me do my hobby in the morning and takes them out and will plug them with food, and then I will take over. And I'm assuming that nobody's watching. If there's anybody who's looking to get some sort of idea as to what's happening on the pitch, usually with the women's matches, because I know that they're free, I don't do as much discussion about the actual match. If there's people who are missing out and want to have me sort of give an update as to what's happening on the pitch, I'm happy to do that. Absolutely straight to heaven for my missus. She has the home on lockdown in more ways than one. Babysits my dumb ass and allows me to do some things. Where are they free, Jennifer? I follow. If you go to I follow, go to the Wrexham AFC website. Do I have that down below? I think I do. The Wrexham AFC homepage. Go to matches, women, and then from there you'll find the game and you can stream it on I follow. Which do I think is going to be televised? Not ours. Ramsgate's going to be televised. Ramsgate Wimbledon is one of them for sure. Who else do I think might be televised? I guess if Cray Valley comes through too, might change things up. I'm wondering if the wiki page is updated so that I can see who came through there. No problem, Jennifer. Sorry, down below wrexhamafc.co.uk/ifollow has it as RL, so you can. The easiest way is to go to the women's matches or go to matches and click there, and then just click on the game that you want, and it has some of the back ones if you want to be able to go back through there. Slough taking out, or potentially taking out Grimsby. That'd be that'd be an impressive shocker, I guess. Yeah, we'll count that one. National League South, are they in? South or North? Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch that game. 5:30 UK time, Charlton Athletic going to get Cray Valley Paper Mills from the Valley in Charlton. Holy. That is a decent sized stadium. Sitting in London, 27,111. That's going to be a fun day out for them. Yeah, and actually, I could watch those ones on Sportsnet out here if I. Any game that's on BBC Sport or ITV, I can watch on Sportsnet if in Canada. Otherwise, if it goes to if it's S4C or otherwise, I'm gonna end up having to find another way to watch it. A player goes to tap her on the shoulder and she goes, does the get off me. Fans of medical drama. An episode of England's Ugliest Towns. That's a prize you want to win. I guess right up there with most dangerous towns, which neighboring community here. The one I live in now got voted as Canada's most hated city, and that was by its own citizens determining whether the people were nice or not, and they, more votes against their own. That's Coquitlam, BC, where I'm living right now. The least friendly town in Canada, which I guess makes us. I mean, there's lots of. What's the standard for a Canadian least friendly town? Kind. That just makes us kind. We're not abundantly friendly. We're not over exuberantly passionate and compassionate. We're just tepid. Refs must be doing their job today. You know what? To be fair, not giving out a yellow card on that last little drama over on the wing was probably appropriate. Dead rubber on Tuesday. That's going to be a fascinating one. I'm curious to see. Can Pritchard get around? No. Well defended. Oh, sneaks up in front. No. Well defended again. I thought Pritchard had the pace to be able to get around her, but both times there, that player just with the shoulder shrug. It looked like she was playing possum with her there. Long throw in, Rosie, right side. Pritchard all the way in. Oh, it was right there, but just glanced off. I'm sure Billy Waters will play everybody who's got more than whatever it is, 40 games played in first division or their youth. They'll run them all out there. There's not any reason to play anybody unless they've got to hit the, they don't have enough. Well, we do. We've got enough players who have played over 40 games. So if you've got anybody on the B squad, Bickerstaff comes in, Waters comes in. You can bring in one of the young goalkeepers that we've got on loan, not Ogonkwo, but the other two. Bring them in and give them a shot. What happened there? Uh-oh. I don't want to speculate, but it looked like she took a ball straight to the face. Fell down and missed exactly who that was. It was a kick, which is why it was a ball. And she went down straight away. So it must be okay. Nobody's what you normally expect if somebody was down for an extended period and dealing with something significant, like where they've got to run ambulance and all that sort of stuff, is you'd expect the players to all be more engrossed and involved. And here they're doing strategy. Nice to see her sitting up. It is. I'm hoping it's not concussion related. They're definitely saying she's got a sub out. France is going to do the fly in if it's a Prem away. Ah, don't tempt it. See, the problem is I can't do that. If I was to fly over to Wales or to England to watch an away game and not bring the family, my wife being English, and the grandkids being desired to by the grandparents to watch by the in-laws, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm taking the weekend. I'm just gonna blast off here and go watch Wrexham take on whoever. I don't know if I'd have a home to come back to, so I'm envious there. So I'm gonna have to wait for April. If we're in the FA Cup in April, though, holy what. That would be something amazing, but no, I'm gonna have to rely on the pressure-filled league games to get me through. Right, Jen? Could you imagine? I know all of your best friends are there from all the way through high school, love, but really, we're talking Wrexham and Everton. I gotta go. Not convincing? Yeah, not gonna work. Wonder if the in-laws would actually put me up. Hey, don't mind me. I'm not bringing your grandkids over. It's just me, your son-in-law, and I'm just looking for a bed to sleep in for a couple of nights. You guys okay with that? Oh, got an opportunity here. Kara, get over there. I'll tell you, the thing I've been impressed about Cardiff Met, not so much their pace, not so much their skill, but defensively, their positioning. They've been very good at blocking people out. Jed, I didn't know you had rallies in Canada. Are they Western? Or are they one of those? And I say that, Sandy, I haven't seen her. She's based out of Toronto. Um, Calgary. That's awesome. I've done a couple of stints in Calgary. 4 years of my life, I guess. First 1 year of undergrad, 3 years of law school. So I got a special place in my heart for Calgary. Not their sports teams. Their sports teams can fall off the face of the planet and it wouldn't hurt me at all. But no, good people in Calgary. Boring city, but good people in Calgary. That was tried to chip over top, missed it. Keeper was back anyway. I think that was a lot of well wishing from Rosie on that one, but she's certainly more capable at scoring than I am. I think the ref. I mean, we haven't mentioned the ref. Haven't noticed the ref, so I think that's impressive. But the girls are turning it on here. Dickens up there on the right side. Nice little sweep out in front. Rosie's at. Oh my word. That was the slowest goal in the history of football. And we take the lead. Rosie hit that one. I think that was Rosie. Stubbed her toe into the ground, hit the back heel, and it rolled through like 2-3 people, and everybody just kind of sat there and stared at the ball. Into the back corner. That's goal number 101. An odd one. You could have probably played the theme song to... Oh, no, I'm not even... I'm going to get made fun of because I can't remember of it. But it goes through a leg, and the goalkeeper's just like thought everybody else was going to knock it down, and then they don't. And so it rolls through. Dickens's pass there with the sweep. I'm glad you got to see it, Jennifer. That's awesome. Yeah, no, sorry. I'll end up having to. I'm gonna have to think of who this was. I'm gonna have to talk about how to watch the stream a little bit more often as I go through these live ones to be able to get it in there. Dickens had that was an amazing little sweep there. Benny Hill. Why couldn't I think of that? Theme to Benny Hill could have been playing in the background on that one. Cardiff player injured. But are you with me that was the weirdest one that I've seen, women's or men's soccer, for a long time? Benny Hill. I haven't, to be fair, I haven't watched a lot of Benny Hill. It's just the theme song because it's on every whatever TikTok viral video that's out there, right? Yeah, David, it took some time. I just end up going to the women's matches now that they've got that up. Just go matches, women or men, and I do that for both. Allows me to go back and watch some other stuff and go backwards as well. That's not a PC statement. Is there some sort of unknown to the North Americans drama with respect to Benny Hill and the political move that it made? Is it some sort of left-right thing that's going to get involved here? Yes, Kim, that's exactly what it was. An absolute laser rippled the back of the net. As Brendan said, the goalkeeper or the goal is still complaining. I got to look that up and pull that clip out because I can't remember what it was. It made me howl when I heard it. Injured, complaining about how hard it was. Whatever, when Dolby rattled that one off the woodwork yesterday. So good. I forgot it. Purged from my memory because I was laughing too hard. Lots of Wrexham sniffing around here. The first half was a little bit favoring Wrexham, but this one we're certainly in control. Thank you, Jed. That's what I was looking for. It's always one of those things, right? That I never watched it enough in the first instance to be able to really know the content other than the song. Gibbard. I'm excited. Yeoviltown. That's about, I mean, knock on wood and all that stuff, but that's about as good as a draw as you're going to get in the FA Cup. Second round. Women are in control. The men perform brilliantly. Bah. No, you're not the only one. I wonder how long I was muted for, but I was just saying about the Nettling strikers, the non-Mullen strikers. Too much inconsistency there. You've had Dalby look great against Mansfield, but he's had games where he's come out and done nothing. You look at Palmer, he's had games where, he's starting to get criticism and people are getting frustrated. Then he comes out recently and just goes and blasts his way through during the Notts County game. And then is he going to maintain that? I don't know. Then you've got I'm a mime. And then you've got Bickerstaff we haven't seen for a while. Fletcher is now injured, but he was certainly in a role of a super sub, so I don't know what to think about that. Pritchard on the right. Wasn't Pritchard just on the left? No, that was Gibbard. Pay attention, girls. They're lazy on the throw in there, and they just got a whole bunch of free space because everybody was a little bit lazy getting back. That's a coaching moment right there. Oh, Swansea's leading the Cardiff City right now? Hey. Would that put us at top of table? I guess it would put us tied top of table in the three-way tie between Cardiff City, Swansea, and us. Goal differential not quite there. Rosie scored the goal, and we'll tell you, Em, it was a glorious thumping shot from right in front of the box that had everybody confused and bewildered. But then we'd be lying. It was a great play by Dickens. Swept the ball in front of the net away from a tackler and kept it in. And then Rosie mishit it, and it went through the legs of one defender. Another defender went to move for it and tried to get to it, and it went past her, and it just rolled and trickled past the goalie who thought one of them was going to get it. So 1-0 good guys, Andrew. Rosie Hughes with an odd trickler that snuck by three players, but counts all the same. Oh, tough play. Wrexham leads 1-0, which I believe we would put 0-1 because we're the away team, but that doesn't make sense to me either. Of course, it was Rosie. 101st, I think that is. I don't think she scored another one after her 100th. Yeah. That's the highlight there, Brend. Fly over, drive to the field, walk over, and save it. Do you guys have the term ma and pa defense? Because that's what it was. I take it, you take it, I take it, you take it. That's what was happening there, is through the leg. I'm going to get it, you're going to get it, she's going to get it. I don't have to go. And all of a sudden, look over and it's behind the goalkeeper. And she's going, what the hell just happened there? 102 for Rosie now. Thank you, Jed, for the correction. I am a big fan of this Anchors girl. Not so much that kick, but she's got the guts to go out and grab ball. She's well positioned. She's made a couple saves. She's clearly grabbing things. I compare to Boland, and I don't want to knock Boland, but Anchors is showing capacity here to... Brandon, miss your flight arguing with the refs at the airport. We can admit the refereeing was horrible yesterday. Like, there's one absolutely unforgivable, should have been a penalty, but there were just missed calls. Rosie, penalty area, kicks it out. Lily Jones. Oh. Shot up the arms and it got to that one, but well done. Lily now, she got stepped on in the process. Yeah. She's okay. She'll bang that out. Yeah, what did they say with Fletcher? 6 months? 4 months? Too long, anyways. Doing well defensively to shut Cardiff Met from getting through. I do want to bring up Twitter to follow along with the Cardiff Swansea match. Another one chipped over top. Gibbons. Gibbard. I was looking away. Rosie deflected off of a Cardiff player, ended up getting beautiful pass in and just a nice chip over the outstretched arms. The goalkeeper running out to try and take that away. And Gibbard grabs that and puts it right over top. Who had the quick one-touch pass there? Was that Lightfoot? I think it was Lightfoot, yep. Kind of deflection off of a player from Rosie's pass. Ended up over on Lightfoot's foot, and she just took that, passed it forward, and Gibbard with the chip over top as the goalie was coming out to take out the angle. And here we go again. Hughes running in, still there. Hughes too. Oh, got a bit of a boot there. I think Rosie had the chance to pass it over. You're never going to take the ball off the foot of your best striker, your best player. But I think she had Lily over there on the right side. What would I do? Trip and fall on my face. So I shouldn't be commenting. But as I play with my FC or FIFA controller, that's probably what I would have done, is passed it over there. A little bit of time wasted from Anchors and a wry little smile. Good morning, NJ. Snowboard. You've missed out on a lot. Yeovil Town is up for the FA Cup second round. Rosie scores the slowest goal. There you go. Anchors with the save. The slowest goal that anyone has ever scored, potentially for Rosie, and then a brilliant one there from Gibbard. Nice little interplay. But Dickens, give her credit on the first one. That was no joke, getting that tackle in to be able to give Rosie the chance. Wrexham on the swarm. Lightfoot, well done. Positionally, Cardiff Met does their thing. Okay, you got to kick that out and blow it down. Yeah, I think she just hurt herself coming back. Got a cramp. Might have been an ankle. It was odd that she ran it back. I thought, didn't she touch that last? So why is she going to let that roll out? Because if it rolls out, we're going to get a corner. And then she stopped it right on the line and then just went down. Oh, God. That's a nightmare. You know what? You missed out on a dominating performance. And even though it was close at the end, it probably should have been 4-1, 5-1. If you watch the whole game, go to the last 10 minutes of the first half and just watch Dalby swarming and getting his opportunities. Probably should have had some more. The referee blew a lot of calls, including an obvious penalty for the chicken wing handball from Aiden Flint. But that was we had that one well in control, I thought, throughout. I mean, crazy things can happen against a run of play, but we were the better team. But I've done that. The Tranmere Rovers game is the only game that I've not been able to watch this year live. And that was because I was running around doing a bunch of stuff over on the island and then passed out too late and the alarm didn't go off, and woke up and went, all right, let's do this, and realized I was like 5 hours later than I was supposed to be when the alarm went off. Nicked the ball, pushed it forward too far. Anchors there. Perfected the time-wasting technique. Is that what that is? I'm not a Hughes, but I'm up to. I feel the need to watch Rosie do her thing. It was an interesting goal that she scored today, that's for sure. Oh, ball kind of rolled off and into a dangerous territory from, I think that was Allen. The upfield ball today has been remarkably good with as far as our placement goes. We've had more than one long ball. More than one long ball that's gone and been placed nicely. I've got 13 minutes left. I'm just going to take a quick run away from here just for a second, and I will be right back. And one thing to chat about with you guys that I was wanting to, just about the channel itself, obviously set those etiquette rules for those of you who haven't seen them yet. I'll just put them up here. But one of the things is the first one I made, it must be subscriber to chat. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are of whether that's appropriate or not, but I just wanted to make sure that, you know, the chat wasn't, when it gets busier, it scrolls through pretty quick now. And so I wanted to be able to leave it. Plus, it leaves a minute delay, so it stops opposing teams from jumping in and then saying whatever they want to say and blasting off. So I just thought that might be a little bit easier. But let me know if you guys have an issue with the rules. I'm happy to change them and look at things. And so, damn you, Grimsby. Zoe just got booked. The fitness coach. Yeah, so that's what I've made it a minute so that it's not too long. I can increase it to 5 or to 10. I've given Jed control and Brendan control to help with the policing of the moderation of things as well. I wonder if I can check that. I'll check that, Drew. Thanks for letting me know. I don't know if that was on my end or yours, but I'll have a look at it. 5 even. Okay. I just didn't want it to be so long that people felt like, oh, I'm not going to stay and not going to subscribe, not going to be involved in because I've got to wait 5 minutes to have a chat. So I thought 1 minute would be enough. Crew up on Derby. That would be. Is that one at Crew, or is that 5 minutes is nothing? Good enough for me. And I forgot I wanted to see the Swansea City's. Swansea City Women AFC, because they were up last I heard. Oh, it's saying Cardiff City's up 1-0 according to what I see. Who lied and told me that? Yeah, Cardiff City. So that would cement Cardiff City in first. We'd be clear away in second. Ooh, nice little shove there from Rosie. Big shout. Good on the referee for not getting involved. I don't think there was much in there. Oh, somebody just came over and got into it with Rosie. The coach is almost mic'd. You're getting that. Well, now are they going to get cards for getting involved, or is she just going to have a chat? I'd put money on Rosie against almost anybody, to be fair. Like, not somebody I want to mess with. Um, yeah, everybody's getting excited. I thought we were going to get into one, and that's the one for that teenager doesn't know what Rosie could do to her. I'm bigger, I'm tougher, I'm going to get... Nah, that would have not turned out well. If that was a hockey game, I would have been okay with a couple lefts and rights. As it was, Rosie, as composed as she was, man, the coach is that the coach? Yeah, exactly. Like, that's not somebody. Rosie just was. That was a comical day for her. She just stood there and just took her lumps and listened and did her thing. Handbags. I'm assuming you're saying not a lot of force involved in the fight. Uh, and I don't know if you're referencing the hockey game with the lefts and the rights or this one, but it was, as far as the girls just getting into it. The Cardiff City girl was certainly, or the Cardiff Met girl was certainly into it. Like, she was aggressive and pushing and wanting to get something. She was nattering the whole time, and Rosie just gave her one push in return, and then they sort of stood toe to toe. And then after that, the referee admonished both of them, and Rosie just sat there and listened and stood firm, and while the other girl was bouncing backwards and lipping away. So, yes, she is about a head taller than Rosie. I don't think that would have intimidated her. That's a good question. I don't know how much money they make part time or semi pro. Oh, Lily went and just she was going to kick it there, and it just nicked her and went out of bounds. Oh, who's this 15? She's getting into it. She's fiery there with the battle that she just had. There's potentially more drama to be seen as she scoops herself up off the ground. Yeah, I do think it's going to take some time until it gets to a full contract, right? The business reasons for it. It's why, you know, I wish I was there. I'd be going to the women's game every single Sunday I could get to, especially at home, um, and buying a lot of drinks. Oh, miss strike. And they had their opportunity, and it just kind of rolled away. I think that'll go for a corner. Yeah, it was definitely Rosie not interested to be involved. I think if Rosie was a little bit more, other than just the push to clear space, I think if she was a little bit more interested in getting involved, it would have been entertaining to watch. But She was appropriately reserved in response. Long corner. First bit of pressure from Cardiff Met that we've seen since the first half, really, isn't it? The Wrexham women trying to jump into the role of cardiac arrest territory and needing to cause us a little bit of turmoil at the end of the game. Yeah, I think that's what it was. No need for Rosie to get suspended, and she was appropriately measured, and that was just frustration on number 15. Have a chat. I'm enjoying Anchors for a 19-year-old. She definitely has the time-wasting move down. Scoop the ball, count to 10, stand up, walk it out. She's gonna get a. I'm sure she's got to get a yellow at some point for time wasting. Appropriately measured on a daily basis. Yes. Yeah, I know that they were all signed. I just don't know if they're, being signed to a contract. Is it are they getting paid £100 a week? Or are they getting £1,000 a week? Don't know. But the things I would love to happen with the women is figure out where the handball. Oh, no call on the handball. Oh, that was an ugly tackle. Get it over, Rosie. Get it over, Rosie. Suckley scores. I don't know if I can celebrate that one because that was a handball that was missed way back at the midfield stripe and it ended up causing us. I guess we take it. Yay! But it was well played after that. Rosie with an excellent pass, beat her girl, and then able to sneak it over, got it in there. So you have to give compliment. They had to go and definitely work for it from the handball, but that was advantageous to our benefit as Cardiff kind of put their hands up and thought that was going to be whistled down, and we, credit to us, didn't stop play and played to the whistle and took it. So Suckley as a substitute gets one. That's she's had a ton of goals recently. I mean, how many did she score in the I should have looked up how to pronounce that one. The FAW Cup match. 6, 7? That was her, right? So we'll see how much extra time we get getting into the 90th minute. We've got that's not the defender who. Oh, was there yellow? So that was a handball. Oh, man, the replay on that was a takeout. No, Andrew, I was being facetious a little bit. I don't think that any of the girls are getting £1,000 a week, but I don't know what we're. Man, that was Lightfoot, I think, that got clattered into like that. Awkward position though. Whew. Well, I guess, yeah, we did have an extended period there where I believe it was Allen who took the ball to the face. 9, 6, 9, 9. I mean, how long was that? Was it Allen that took the shot to the face? Because she was down for an extended period. I've had a couple of other ones as well. But this one, she hurt her ankles ramming her cleats into, I believe it was Lightfoot. Gonna go check the score again in that Swansea City match. Well, Mike the ref says not a handball. It was in a natural position. I thought it was extended from the body too far. Full time, it's a defeat for the Swans. So the results of this game will put us solidly into second place at the end of, what do you call it? The first half of the first half? The first quarter of the season, even though it's a third of the games played. Because we've got 7 more before they do the divide of the top 4, bottom 4. Yeah, Cardiff is going to be a tough one all the way through. Swansea too. I mean, they've not the same level as Cardiff. I remember Swansea being. Oh, another nice little touch there by Pritchard all the way over. Nah, couldn't get there. Suckley. Pritchard wicked that one away, didn't she? John, that's an excellent question, and I don't know. Absolutely do. Whether it be Canva or I don't have time to do a lot of the social media stuff, Instagram, for this sort of purpose. And so if you have an interest in photoshopping, we should chat. If you don't follow me on Twitter, follow me there if you want to. Send me a message, but I'm all for whatever you're happy. Oh, whoa, gave the ball. I would have been so mad if the clean sheet would have disappeared because of a turnover like that. But yeah, send me a message, email driver@theredhorn.com. I was playing with some AI stuff, trying to make it work. I've been talking to John about options and things and ideas, and so trying to increase things and share the load, as it were. We've picked up 1 subscriber. If you haven't subscribed and you're just listening, you haven't chatted because you haven't felt the need. Everybody who is chatting, I know, is a subscriber. But if you're sitting here eavesdropping in the background, hit the subscribe button and come in and say hi. Water's warm. We're all nice people. Put my face on Flint's body. Do you think I'm that much of a fan? Halfway through the season before the break. Thank you, Andrew. That's the perfect explanation of what I was trying to say. Halfway through the season before the break. So another half season until the break, and then after the break, they'll have another set of games before the conclusion of the... It all makes sense when you know how it operates. Do you want terminated? Are you a graphic designer? Is that why you're like, hey, AI is supposed to be a threat for lawyers too? Aiden Flint is the center back for... Mansfield Town, and I admit I'm a fan. Up until the last game against us, he was the best center back in the league, but he had a horrible game last game. But if you watch the Notts County game that they had against Mansfield, he single-handedly destroyed Notts County, like single-handedly ended their game. And then against us, he was really, really weak yesterday. My boy toy. God. You like somebody on a non-Wrexham team as far as their capacity to play, and everybody's like, oh my God. I will say, if Flint signed for Wrexham, I would go and buy a jersey. No, I'm going to make everybody lose their minds. Bromance. It can't be a bromance if it's only one-sided. It makes me a stalker. No. Jesus. Love, no. Just an appreciation for the way that he plays the game. Similar to the appreciation I have for O'Connor and his capacity on the left side of the center back position since he came in. Some affection for Elliot Lee's beard. I miss having Megan join the chat. I didn't get any compliments today. Normally I get told I look sharp. Maybe I don't look sharp today. That's why. Brendan, yeah, that was much appreciated. Slough. Slough Town, Slough County, Grimsby. Do it again. Pritchard. Suckley. Looking for Rosie. Finds her. Oh, nice chip. Onside. Onside. Offside. Is that... I think that was offside. Well put together, though. Well put together. And had to have been just, although she did, because of the pace and moving forward, looked more offside potentially than she really was. But I do think she was just ahead from the weird angle that we have. Crew up 2-0. Fascinating stuff. And has anybody looked at the lineup that Derby put out there? Are they going with the gusto? No, that wasn't a goal. That was an offside call. As we're a minute and a half away. Next up for us, the Port Vale Dead Rubber, where we get to watch our B team and our youth get a run out, I'm hoping. And Port Vale will do the same. And I have been chatting. I have to go through the chat. Somebody was chatting about if somebody's interested in doing the women's games just because, Jones just missed an opportunity to get a late goal. The potential of having somebody do these matches. Yellow card for Hughes. Catch and a flip. It was a very well performed flip on the ground. And that was that 15? Oh, was it red? Might have been yellow-red. So Rosie going to be suspended? I don't recall Hughes being booked earlier. But got a yellow and a red there on that. Do you recall what the second yellow was, John? I didn't see it. Jennifer, if you have hockey as a background at all, I can explain offside very easily. If you understand how offside works in hockey. Oh, she got 2 yellows and 1 was for kicking the ball away. So, Swansea away and no Rosie. Ugh. Well, we'll see what Miss Suckley can do. Dickens with a pop from... So I was looking to follow up with Jennifer. You can't appeal yellows, but you can appeal if the wrong player was identified, at least in the EFL with the regulations. If there's a mistake giving the yellow to the wrong player. The fascinating part about that is the yellows still count for the purposes of counting team fines as against the player who was misnamed. Uh-oh. Atta go Anchors. Now, she hasn't been tested, and Morgan is a beast, but Anchors is calling out here for more opportunity to compared to Boland. That's full time. The final whistle. Jennifer, we'll have to go over offside with you on another day. It's hard to explain without things. If you watch hockey, think blue line, where if you're in ahead of the puck and you cross the blue line before the puck goes in, that's offside. Well, there's no line in football. Instead, just draw an imaginary line from the last defender. And if you're beyond that last defender or a body part that could score, i.e. shoulder, feet, knee, leg, thigh, are beyond that imaginary line before the ball crosses it, you're offside. So that's... Yeah, John, that's the Anchors was brought in. No Boland, no Dell. I haven't heard what the issue is with them and whether they were injured. But I've appreciated this. Yeovil Town, that was a lot of fun. Not a big bump on the subscriber one, but I will take it. We're getting closer to 1,000. More importantly, had a lot of fun with you guys and a good chat. And will be Tuesday afternoon for me, or early morning, afternoon, a little bit later out in the east, as night game available for everybody on Tuesday out in the UK. So that's about it. I'm going to have to look at Yeovil and figure out what's going on. There has to be two players between the attacker and the goal. I guess that's one way to look at it. Effectively, though, it's because the goalie... I mean, I know what you're saying. It is... You could get weird offside calls the way that I defined it for Andrew towards the goal. I just think in open play, it's easier not to have to count out the two, including the goalie, and just go with... All good. That's how I think of it. But technically, Michael, as Andrew identified, my blue line analysis is technically wrong because you can get an offside where it's not the last player, the last defender, because the goalie's mixed up and so it changes it. So it's technically two. But in 99% of the time, that's the easiest way to consider the blue line analogy. I think. All right, I'm going to sign off, go and hang out with the kids and run around. Man, it's only 8 o'clock in the morning, but lots of stuff to do. So appreciate you guys. I hope to see you on Tuesday. I don't know how many people are going to show up because it's a bit of a dead rubber, but maybe people are interested in seeing the young kids and some of the older ones who are on the B-side get a chance at a run out against Port Vale. And yeah, Yeovil Town. Get to look that one up again and figure out everything and how they're performing. Have a wonderful Sunday afternoon, Sunday eve, and I will see you guys soon.